fuck. It's like, is this going to make David feel like shit? Is this going to make Jeff feel like shit? And it's...
Well, I hope it doesn't. I'm saying that right away. I have no...
and I'm concerned. I'm always concerned for their well-being. My entire body is cramping up talking about
Sorry,
this.
we can move on.
No, stay on it. Stay on it.
You.
Welcome to Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz.
And Jason Nash was playing Simon Says.
Yeah, I love Simon. How is he?
I love Simon too. He's great. He's great to work with.
He's amazing, huh?
Is he your favorite judge on AGT?
Simon to me is like David Dobrik to you.
He is like the David Dobrik to you. He gave you your shot.
He gave me my shot and continues to give me my shot. And I, basically 90% of what I do, I work with him.
Is it hard to be? I came to a taping and I remember thinking, oh, I thought Simon was supposed to be the bad guy, but it looked like you were the bad guy, and Simon was being nice to everybody.
Thank you.
Did he do that to you? He's like, I'm gonna be well liked now. I did my time as the asshole.
So you're calling me an asshole? What an opening!
That night, you know, you told it like you saw it.
That's it. I think that I tell it like I see it every night.
Yeah.
But some nights there are not good things to see, and I will tell you that there are not good things to see.
The crowd disagreed with you, though.
I know. That was the hardest thing for me. We'll talk about it. I'm going to be on... Jason Nash also not only is... you're a stand-up comic.
Yeah,
you did,
sort of.
Didn't you?
I've done...
Is that how you start?
Yeah, I started as stand-up. I did some acting.
Right. And then how did you and David meet?
I was completely broke and like not doing it as an actor. I made a movie, nothing happened with it, and then I was just at the Improv one night, and I was up there, and I did pretty good, and I got off stage, and he just walked up to me, and he was like, he had his camera, and he was like, "Hey, can you come do that bit tomorrow at my house?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure." And
wait, was it a stand-up bit? What was the bit?
The bit was, it was me just yelling at like Gen Z. Just complaining about, how spoiled they are and stuff like that. And so he took that bit and had me do it to his friend the next day in one of his videos. And I left and I was like, I'll never see him again. Cause I think he was like 19 or 20 at the time. He might've been 20. And I just, I thought I'd never hear from him again. And then he called me and then I saw him every day for the last 5 years. So it's crazy.
You still see him every day?
I mean, just about. Yeah, I just went to Europe with him. He's the best. He's like, I
do know. I'm friends with David, and I love David. But I find it interesting how I think out of everybody on his, I know he has his friends that he went to school with, and that he's known from the time he was kids. But you seem to be the closest, like L.A. He met you in L.A., and then you seem to have, and maybe it's just my interpretation, but you also not manage, but you do kind of direct him sometimes.
I give him the best advice that I can, just as somebody who has been around longer than he has, but he's also really smart and knows exactly what he's doing, and so there's only so much. I'm sure I've helped him in some ways, but there's
you have been there through thick and thin, and there has been recently. There's been a lot of thin, but you have stuck it out and been there. And
he's my guy, man. He's been so good to me. He's been good to my mother. He's been to my family.
He married your mother.
He married.
Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, no. This David Dobrik is basically his stepfather. Ex stepfather,
and he went all the way with it too. Like
that he fucked your mother.
No,
I was just trying to get some.
They got a legal marriage.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said they went all the way. For me,
he consummated the marriage.
Well, you'd have to ask my mom. I don't know. We can call her if you want. I don't know if they had sex, but
is there a possibility that he had sex with your mother?
Hey, man, he's a smooth dude. I mean, ladies love David, so
they do.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah, he has that like boyish charm, and he's also rich, so I think that helps.
So and now you seem to be flourishing on your own. This is you're doing a podcast, and you're posting more that you're not like just on your own. So is there a newfound kind of energy for you, or a thrust to just kind of?
Yeah, 100%. We were doing the Views podcast, then we stopped that, and so then I said I'm gonna have to start do my own thing. And so now I'm doing my own podcast. It's called All Good Things. And I just interview people, and It's
I'm going to be on it.
You are.
I can't wait.
In a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, and will you? It's just a podcast. Will you be also posting and vlogging and doing the thing? Yeah, I noticed David quit vlogging.
Yeah, he doesn't do it anymore.
And you were a big part of that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like being on a TV show.
So was it your advice? Like, why would he quit?
Why did he quit? Yeah.
I think he, not to speak for him, but I think he just did everything he could do with it. He just ran out of the gas. He did so much so young.
Right.
Posting 3 times a week from the ages of 19 to 25. I mean, have you done anything for more than 6 years?
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
have I done anything?
Oh, you've done AGT. Oh, you did.
I've been on. Well, I've been in the business for like.
But I mean,
have you done anything for more than 6 years?
No, but I mean, like project to project.
I'm sitting beside my biggest
like,
project. Go ahead, finish your statement because I agree with you.
I was going to say a lot of people work. Like if you ask a teacher, there's a lot of teachers that have been teaching every single day for 25 years, going inside the classroom and teaching the same lessons year after year.
Are you that Gen Z that you were yelling at because you're going? You're kind of going. Have you done anything for more than 6 years?
No,
I mean, once you hit the limit of 6 years,
I meant project to project. Like you did Deal or No Deal for how many years?
You're right, about 6.
About 6.
And then there was no more deals to be had.
Yeah.
I created a duchess. Yes. So was that disappointing to you personally?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like...
Because you're a big part of it, and you were a huge part of even the clickbait.
Sometimes.
Yes.
No, they kept me out of the clickbait because I have an old face.
No.
I mean, unless it was...
unless you're calling
Wait,
a
can
thumbnail.
I ask something?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing your podcast?
Like 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Okay, so you still have like 6 more years of your podcast to go.
Minus
like you're right
4
at the
weeks.
beginning. Minus
oh
4
my
weeks.
God,
Yeah.
don't even say that.
What? How long do you hope it lasts?
I want to retire.
You really do?
I want to get out. Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
Really?
Crazy.
Are you tired? How old are you?
49.
And you're tired?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it gets to a point where you're like, oh, what are we doing here?
I'm going to be 67.
Well, when I look at you, I think to myself, I'm like, man, how he still goes. I'm like, why? Why would he still keep going?
Because I love what I do.
Right.
And I get to meet cool people and see cool things and do. Does this really? I'm sitting with my daughter.
Yeah,
talking
that's
to
true.
somebody that I find interesting. Why is that? Why? Like, what would retire? If you retired, what would you do in retirement?
Just like go work at the Starbucks in Montecito.
Oh wow!
Just sit there, take
For like 6 years.
take art classes. Yeah.
Take art classes.
But I do think it's cool that you guys work together because I have a daughter who's 13.
Yeah.
And that would be like my dream to like do a podcast with her. Because when she was little, we used to like make videos and stuff. And
Right.
she used to kill it. And then she got to an age where she was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Well, she's probably at the age where she thinks you're dumber than a rock.
Yeah.
Like she never wants to go over to David's house. Like yesterday we were, they were all going to the pool. And I was like, let's go to David's house, go to the pool. She's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to. She wants to do her own thing. She wants to,
Does she say that Jason is her dad, or does she? Because she hid the fact that I was her dad for all her teenage years.
Was it hard? I think it is hard for her at times.
No one knew who. I've told this story before, but I had a friend who was my best friend for years, and he was always on the road. So she'd come over a lot when he wasn't there. And then I think after like the 2-year mark of us being friends, she was over, and she went to go get something from the kitchen, and she ran back to my room and she's like, do you know who's in your house right now? And I was like, who? And she's like, Howie Mandel is in your house. I'm like, no way. And we went and spied on him, but none of my friends knew
Really?
that was my dad. No.
Really?
You know what that kind of says? Not that you were hiding it, that you have stupid friends.
Because I was Mandel.
Right.
Yeah.
What are the chances that somebody else named Mandel would be in your house?
I rented a Lamborghini for a video like last week, and
Yeah.
and so I brought it over to pick her up, and I was like, this will be so cool.
Right.
I'll take her to school in the Lamborghini.
Right.
And she was horrified. Just
Yeah.
like horrified. And
You
she's
know
like,
that.
I don't, she made me drop her off like a block away.
Yeah.
And it was like not a cool moment at all.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I never drove her all the way to school.
No, it was
No,
like
she
2
would
blocks
not let
away.
me.
how far did you get dropped off?
Like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
2 blocks. God forbid anybody should know that she had a parent.
Yeah.
You know, she was hatched.
Yeah.
So and she was really embarrassed of who I was. So one time I hired a guy to show up. This guy, Wittek Cohen, who is my friend and a comedian, who's a bald little hairy man and he was wearing a Speedo and holding up a sign, Jacqueline Mandel, Uncle Vic's here, and
with fake blood coming out of his nose and ears and a toupee in his Speedo, so extra hair coming out the sides.
he looked European.
Oh my God. Were you mortified?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it would make me seem like better. But so what is your so
Wait, we were talking about you stayed out of the clickbait.
No, but I was saying, so are you dating right now?
Yes, I'm seeing someone.
Can you be open about who it is?
No, I can't.
Why?
Because people come after, they'll just.
Is she known?
No.
Is she? What does she do for a living?
She's a writer.
How'd you meet her?
On a dating app.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say she's a writer, cursive or what's her favorite font?
Helvetica. I think.
Is she more low key than Trish was?
Yes, and that's part of the reason why I don't say who she is, because I went down that road.
But you think being public with Trish is what caused the breakup between you and Trish?
There's a lot of things that caused the breakup, but just between her and I, putting a relationship online is the worst idea. It is the worst. So. Without saying anything bad about her, just as us, as two people, I loved her or whatever, and I really enjoyed my time with her. But having a relationship that's online and there's comments and people get in there and then people DM her,
I had Ethan
false
Klein
things.
on recently.
Yes, yeah.
That's her brother-in-law now.
Yes,
and
I know.
she's pregnant.
I know. It's a wild story, and I wish them all the best.
You said
Boy, you're really good.
No,
you should
you
be in
said you don't want to
politics.
say anything bad, but
How's that? That's my producers over there. They're like,
that's
Oh,
bullshit.
you just got a thumbs up from somebody.
No,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm calling you out. That's bullshit. You have already come out and said stuff about the relationship that wasn't all necessarily positive.
where did I say that?
Didn't you? You said that you tried to break up and that you couldn't break up, and she wouldn't let you break up. Didn't you say all that?
Well,
yeah.
that's
I was
him.
on. You're right. I was on BFFs, and I
Yeah.
did say that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because
So
Portnoy
just
asked
not
me.
here.
No,
I
but
I can tell you what you want. What do you want to know? I'll tell you.
No,
I'll
but-
tell you, and I'll be respectful to Trisha.
No, I know, and
know what
that
I
is
mean?
respectful to say that she didn't want to break up with me. Like if I said I wanted to break up with a woman and she didn't want to break up, basically you're saying I'm so hot, I'm such a prize that I couldn't get her to back up from me.
That was strange. I'd go, listen, let me go. I am not a catch in any way. I mean, I have a sleep apnea mask I sleep with, and I got 2 kids.
Do you think that
I'm
turned her
miserable
on?
all the
Do you
time.
think that turned her on though? The fact that you had a sleep apnea mask?
She might have liked the fact that I was beaten down, so she could, control
Really?
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see it from a woman's perspective, but just rolling over and seeing a guy with a mask and a 2-foot hose.
Yeah, it's not attractive in any way.
How do you know? How do you know? Is she a big Alien fan? She could like Alien, So you have no interaction with her whatsoever.
No interaction.
And that taught you to not be public at all about any of this relationship you're in is not the next one since, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I mean, I can tell you whatever you want to know about that. I'm trying to.
No, I know Trish a little bit. Trish
I remember
was on,
we
Trish
were
was
here
on-
with you with Trish, yeah.
And Trish was on AGT.
I know, for the world's fastest talking,
Right.
right?
She was a big Howard Stern fan.
Yeah.
Yes,
She loves Howard.
Spoke. Yeah, she was on, so I did see her.
Yeah, I mean, I give her credit. She'll when she tries to do something, she can do a million different things.
How long did you go out?
We dated for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I say wow. Because for you, 6 years is long. So 1
Yeah.
year is like nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Do you want to get married again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I definitely do.
Do you want more children?
Yeah.
Really?
I would. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
person that you're now with is, they're how old?
She's in her 30s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you find being 50, dating somebody in their 30s, is it a good?
It's I'm always surprised. I'm like, you could do way better, but she's stuck around. It's pretty new, the relationship, but I'm always like, okay, you sure you want to be with me? Okay.
What's the youngest person you ever dated?
This person.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Not everything is wow, Dad.
For me.
Yeah.
I've been married for 42 years, so just being out there, being on a date is wow.
Yeah.
Yes. So the fact that she's 30.
It's
Does
really
your daughter want more siblings?
I mean, I haven't talked to them about that yet.
Yeah.
And they won't watch this podcast because
Yeah.
they're very busy.
Uh-huh.
Are you friendly? Are you amicable with the mother of that
Yeah,
daughter?
really great. Like my ex-wife is the best. The best. I mean, she has her issues. But but I learned, Howie, I learned. It's just like, just say yes. Like, oh, yeah. You want me to do this? Okay, great. And keep everything really cool. So I help her with a lot of stuff or fix things or whatever she needs. Or
She breaks a lot of things.
she's She-Hulk. She's the new She-Hulk. So she's been just breaking her house and yeah.
So what's the
it's
last
tough
thing
on
you
the kids.
fixed? I can't fix anything.
Well, I don't fix anything. I call it TaskRabbit.
TaskRabbit.
Yeah.
Are they sponsoring your podcast?
This is an ad right now. I need to do a 30-second read. Hang on a second. Let me grab it. Do you have broken shit around your house? Okay. No. Yeah, but I get along great with her. My kids are amazing.
Are there kids? Is there two?
Yeah, there's two.
What are? I see you said 13-year-old girl.
13 and a 16-year-old boy. He's a musician. She wants to be a writer. He's pretty talented. So is she, and they're the best.
He's 16.
Yeah.
Is he driving?
No, he's a little slow in that way.
Okay.
He's like, he can build like a perpetual motion machine, but he can't pass driver's ed. So he's like one of those kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's like, oh my God, this is a most brilliant song you've written about the Holocaust, but then he can't put his shoes on. Like that kind of kid,
A
You wrote
brilliant song
songs about the Holocaust?
Yeah, he wrote this song about the Holocaust that got some play on YouTube because David put it out.
Can we hear it?
Yeah, you can look it up. Look up Wyatt Nash Holocaust song.
Really?
I think it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's definitely on YouTube.
For purposes of our audience, we're just going to call it a camp song.
Yo, I was just at Anne Frank's house.
Really?
Yeah, you been there?
I have been there.
Yeah.
I thought it was the fact that for when you're in Amsterdam, for blocks and blocks.
I said that way too excited.
there are-
Yo, I was just at Anne Frank's house.
Right. You're trying to find something in common with the Jews you're talking to. But they have signs all over town. They have signs all over town that say, 2 blocks this way to Anne Frank's house. 1 block, make a left here to Anne Frank's house. What kind of fucking hiding spot is that? Like, the signs give her away, right?
It's a monument now.
That's how they found her.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were doing sympathy.
Are we hearing? Did we get the YouTube?
This is for his school project.
Okay, this is. See the video too?
We can't see
There's no
anything.
video. It's just audio.
What the fuck, Jason?
They got me working like a slave. The number on me name.
Oh my God, you mean like an
David's
alternative.
face right now.
But I'm just another Jew ready for cleanup. I see bloodstains, gas flames.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
So much hate can't compensate. Please don't like the situation that we're facing, cause it's pretty simple. There's no dimples, only pistols that they're firing constantly. Got wires inside. Can you stop this?
Wait, is this Wyatt's voice?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
On my knees to stop them from putting us on our knees and shooting us down. What do we ever do to them? Coexist, be around. That's the explanation for the corpses on the ground.
Okay.
Most of my family's gone.
Oh, close.
What the fuck?
Horrible. This is horrible.
Would he pass on AGT?
No. This is horrible.
I don't think he'd get through to the audition.
I feel like I want to deny this song. It never happened.
Well, he was asked to make a project at school.
Oh.
And so he said, can I make a song instead of writing?
Right.
And the teacher was like, yeah, all right, knock yourself out, kid. And then I was on him all night to finish this project. And then around 4 a.m, he played this for me. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, Jesus.
What did he get on this?
He got an A.
Yeah. Wait, what was the class?
Anti-Semitism?
Honestly, it was like history. But you know how schools are now. Everyone's like, everybody be free flowing. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they just let them do whatever they want. And,
What was your favorite lyric from the Holocaust song?
most of my friends
fans
are
are
dead now. 6 million killed now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
You didn't say anything about the song. You were like, just let him do what he does. I just want him to finish
You got
the
an A.
project. Yeah.
I mean, it was too late. It was due in 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, send it off.
Just like the Holocaust, as it was happening, nobody was interfering and nobody was doing what they needed. You couldn't put a stop to this before the song was finished.
We were doing, I was doing Sympathetic German Soldier while we were outside Anne Frank's house. We thought that was kind of funny.
Were you? No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
I'm going to get canceled for this episode. What is the sympathetic German soldier?
I brought you some toast, and this is there's 3 different jellies here. It's apricot. Coming! I'll be there in a second. Everyone's fine.
Wow.
You were so proud that you didn't say anything negative about your
Trish or
girlfriend or
anything.
Trish,
But
and
for
then
the
you go
Holocaust-
into this.
Is that a
There's
laugh?
no one up here. Everything's good. Take these crumpets and try put the butter first and then the jelly.
Would David sign off on this sketch for his vlogs? Do you
No.
think he, no,
No,
this is just for you.
Never,
no.
never.
No.
Well, I'm Jewish, so I mean, I feel like I can make those jokes. But.
Yeah.
Right. Once you're Jewish, we can get away with it all. And we own everything.
It's true.
Right. Okay.
I was so busy with the banks and the media this morning.
Yeah.
I barely made it here.
Oh, my God.
Today's episode is brought to you by Surfshark VPN.
Thank you. Can I just say
Yeah.
thank you, Surfshark?
A VPN is a tool that improves your online privacy and protects you from hackers. Are you asking me how?
No, but I do know how. But
Okay.
they probably are saying, how does that work?
Okay, then I'll tell you how.
Okay.
It basically acts as a shield and hides your IP addresses. So everything you do online stays private, whether it be...
They can't track it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It
They
could
don't
be-
know what you're going to.
Okay, you do it.
And even if you hide your IP, you can watch things on the East Coast because they don't know. Things can't be geo-blocked.
Exactly.
Okay, go keep going.
So once you change your virtual location, you'll be able to bypass censorship and restrictions, find your favorite Netflix, like you said, Hulu, Disney Plus, or other streaming services, and even access new libraries to watch even more content.
Even more content, people.
If you can't see a YouTube video because of your location, use Surfshark VPN.
That's what I do.
If you can't access that one website to buy limited edition sneakers,
Use Surfshark VPN.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you can try Surfshark today, totally risk-free with a 30-day
No
money-back
risk.
guarantee.
No risk. 30-day money-back guarantee.
Get Surfshark VPN at surfshark.deals/Howie. Enter
Howie.
You're good at this, Dad. You
I know.
enter promo code Howie for 83% off and 3 extra months free. You heard me right. 3 extra months for free. That's surfshark.deals/Howie.
Let me say it.
Okay.
Surfshark.deals/Howie.
Oh, you did a good job, Dad.
Yeah, and the promo code is Howie.
Yeah.
Howie. Surfshark. Let's go back to the podcast.
Okay.
Can we?
Yeah,
Come with me.
I'll go.
Okay. Did you grow up conservative?
I was Jewish, but then we didn't have enough money.
I was Jewish.
Well, I am Jewish, but we didn't have enough money to be in the temple, so I wasn't bar mitzvahed, but my sister was. And then by the time it got to me, it was like, forget it.
What?
But my family is Jewish. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like practicing, but I
You
do
could
I
be
do the
Jewish.
holidays and
Wait,
stuff.
your sister, is it an older sister?
Older, yeah.
Yeah, so they were practicing Judaism up until your sister, and then by you, they went, forget it. So you're not circumcised.
He's checking.
No, I am.
What do you mean?
Why
they
wouldn't
said
I be
forget-
circumcised?
You
Everybody's
said by the
circumcised.
time we were real Jewish until my sister, and then they said, forget it.
Well, you know how families, they start with something and then by the second kid, they're like, fuck it. You
Mine was
never
the
had
opposite.
that?
No, mine was I didn't go to Hebrew school, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we messed up." And
Yeah.
then my 2 younger siblings went to Hebrew school.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they picked up steam as they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of felt guilty.
Mine was like I was the fuck
Her
up.
younger sister's
Yeah.
a rabbi.
Makes sense.
It does make sense, doesn't it?
Sarah Silverman's sister's a rabbi.
I know that.
Yeah.
I do. That's a good little tidbit.
Yeah, it's real nice.
There's so much information in this podcast already.
There is, even without questions.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you have any idea what Sarah Silverman's sister does? And I have no reason to say that now. Are you doing any stand-up anymore?
No, I'm trying to write stand-up. I can't. I'm just like completely blocked. I don't know how to do it anymore.
Well, don't you think you have to get in front of an audience to do it? Like you just write a concept.
I'm too scared to go to the improv and do it.
So go to the Comedy Store. No?
I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. But I'm trying to get the podcast off the ground now, so it's taking up all my time.
It is?
Very well.
It's fun. Are you enjoying the process? And it's just you alone talking?
It's just me right now. I'm looking for a co-host.
I'd assume that the podcast is difficult because you said you do a lot of homework. You do a lot of homework, huh, for your podcast?
I do. I try to put a lot into it and like learn. Like I watched all these episodes. I watched 15 episodes of you guys.
And how do you think that helped you in like just being a guest on ours?
Well, I feel like I can draw on a lot of things and just be like, hey, I told you I saw you in jail.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So
He's
that
talking
helps.
about Jackie on an episode when I'm saying during COVID, like it's over. But I'm a germaphobe, and I have a cell just outside here, so I made you sit in there.
But no one even had COVID. Like one of my kids was just sick with the cold, and you had me sit outside in a cell with a mask on.
I've never been the same. You know, the beauty of COVID for me is it hasn't really changed me. It just makes me seem like everybody. It's changed everybody around me.
Yo, when COVID hit, David and I would be like, yo, Howie fucking called this shit. We would say that all the time. We were like, oh my God, Howie knew.
So I win? Do I win
you
something?
win. Yeah, we kept saying
No,
that.
I didn't call this shit. I just, but people did that, and you guys were very nice. I started doing like a lot of TikToks, and then you guys came and he did a what's it called? A check, like a
wellness check.
He did a wellness check.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that for when you were.
Yeah, what was that? You kind of like went off the grid for a while?
No, everyone on TikTok said that he had been kidnapped because of. Like, he makes the weirdest videos.
Oh, I know.
The weirdest videos
I know,
that don't
I
make
watch
any
them.
sense.
I
And
know.
I think people look at those videos and try to make sense out of them.
Uh-huh.
And they got that he was kidnapped out of it.
People see signs in a lot of things.
Yeah.
They do. And where are you from?
Boston.
Boston. How come you don't have that accent?
I got rid of it.
Did you have it when you came out here? How long you been out here?
No, I got rid of it when I was like 11.
Well, you're still in Boston. You just didn't want to talk to like the neighbors.
Well, I wanted to be a sportscaster. And so I used to practice being, I was really into sports. And then I did acid when I was like 20. And then I woke up the next day and I picked up the sports page and I just didn't care anymore. And it
Wow.
completely changed my, you know how like guys are like, yeah, many touchdowns and I think he's going to win. And
Right.
prognosticating about the
R-
games.
right,
Like, that
right.
was me.
Right.
And then I fucking woke up and I was like, yo, this shit's meaningless. And then I just got into comedy and I was like, I just want to be a comedian.
So you think acid knocked the sport out of you?
I think so. I mean, I don't know why else.
You don't do you watch sports now?
No. I mean, what's the point? I just don't. I wish I did. Like, I wish I liked it.
You're not a Patriot fan. You're not a.
I mean, if they're in the Super Bowl, I'll watch. Like when Brady was playing, like that was cool. I love Tom Brady, but I just can't sit and I'm jealous of people that like sports because I wish I could be like, hey guys, come on over, let's watch the game. But I just don't. Do you like sports?
Why, if you're inviting people over to watch a game, would you use that voice? Like why? Like if I
That's what
wanted
all
people to come over. Hey guys. Why don't you come on over and watch the game? Like, you're not going to get anybody to come if you go, hey, it's Jason here. I have chips. Come on over and we'll watch the game. But if you go, hey guys.
Well, now I go, hey guys, come over and watch Dave Chappelle. That's what I'll say, something like that.
Why do you use that voice for? Is that an inviting voice?
I just have to. I don't know who I am as a person.
Did you do a lot of drugs?
Yeah.
And the one big event that you have to recount is that acid knocked the sports fan out of you?
I think so, or maybe I'm just saying that because I read a book about Whitey Bulger, and he did acid, and then he supposedly became a killer. He did acid in prison,
Right.
and then after that, they say that that's what turned him into this monster.
That's bullshit.
Well, that's what the book says. Maybe it is. Maybe
So
he was always
you
a
read the
monster.
Whitey Bulger story.
Yeah.
Who is a mafia.
Famous Boston mafia, the most famous mafia guy in Boston.
Yeah. Didn't they just arrest him here in Santa Monica?
They got him. That was about 10 years ago, but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but
10
they
years
did.
ago. Well, for me, after 6 years.
Yeah,
I
for
forget.
6 years, it's nothing. Yeah, they got him in Santa Monica eventually,
Right.
and then he got shanked in prison, and he's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
But you read that story, and that story made you realize that it was the acid that made you lose the interest in sports.
That's what I thought, yeah. And Howard Stern has a similar story,
He does?
doesn't he?
I don't know.
I
I've
think
never heard it.
He did acid too. And,
Okay.
And then I probably got it because I listen to Howard a lot. But
Right.
he has a similar story that he did acid in college, and that changed him in a big way.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you continue to do drugs?
I do it every day.
Okay.
No.
Do you smoke pot?
No, I can't.
Why?
It's fun for like 10 minutes, and then I'm like, I
Nah.
turn it into Norm Macdonald. You know.
I
I used to work for Norm Macdonald.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you, I
That
love
was my
Nor-
first job out of college.
Was it really? What did you do
Yeah.
in New York?
I did Update. I took all the jokes that people would fax in, because back then it was a fax.
Right.
And I would call all the jokes and give them to Norm. And
So you were there during, for those that don't know, Norm Macdonald did Weekend Update on SNL, and he got fired for that because he would constantly do, did you give him the OJ jokes?
that was all me. Yeah. No, that was all Norm.
No, I know, but he was told not to because, was it Don Ohlmeyer or somebody at NBC was a good friend? He was the head of sports, and he was a good friend of O.J. Simpson before the trial.
Yeah.
And he always put an O.J. Simpson joke
I know.
on. So were you part of that?
I mean, I was there when they were doing it. I was really young, so I don't think I didn't know that Don Ohlmeyer was pissed at Norm. I just thought, oh, these are funny OJ jokes.
So for those that don't know, Norm Macdonald ended up getting fired from Saturday Night Live for doing that. It's probably one of the funniest times on SNL.
He was the best.
He was the best at his Weekend Update. The fact that you were backstage, how did you get connected to Norm Macdonald?
I started out as the receptionist, and then Norm was he was like the one cast member that was like really, he'd much rather hang out with a regular person than another comedian.
Right.
And so he just took to me. I think I laughed a lot.
How did you get a job as a receptionist at NBC?
I was in college. I just applied. I was an intern. I went
Because
to the
of your
internship
phone,
program.
because of your phone talent. Hey guys, welcome to NBC. Want to come over and see SNL? Hey guys, want to come over and see SNL?
I talked to Mick Jagger once on the phone. He called there.
Really?
That was a thrill. Yeah.
What-
There's lawn there. Like that.
Really? And you answered the phone?
I was like, oh, yeah, I'll put you through. He was super nice.
Did you talk? Did you end up saying anything?
No.
No. That's it.
No,
You just
that's
said
it.
I'll put you through.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of bad letters to Al Franken. Used to have to go through those. A lot of anti-Semitic letters.
Right?
And I'd go through those. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You should write a song about that. Or have your son write a song.
And he was cool. Al Franken was great.
I like Al Franken.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Really funny, too.
Really funny.
He was the head writer at the time, right?
He wasn't the head writer. He was around. I think it wasn't Downey. I don't remember. It was before Tina Fey and Seth Meyers. I don't remember.
Were you aspiring to be on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Did you ever try out?
I did. I auditioned.
And? I know you're not on,
got
but
it.
tell me about
I was there for 10 years. It was me, Fallon,
You are
Bill
an
Hader.
amazing impressionist.
Yeah.
You
I ended up letting David Dobrik tape me to the wall instead. So,
right.
Yeah.
So, but you did tell me about the audition. People have been on here telling me about the audition.
Oh man, I was so nervous. They flew me to New York. They put me in a hotel.
Wait, they flew to you're there.
Well, I was in LA. I had already moved to LA. So
This
let's
is after?
say it was.
This was after.
Yeah, it was
being-
after. It was like 3 years later. I had left.
Right.
And then they fly to LA. Everybody's there. Zach Galifianakis auditioned the same year as me. I think Fallon auditioned the same year as me, but I didn't see Fallon. And just went in, did my characters, did my Matthew McConaughey impression.
Let me hear your Matthew.
Oh, I don't remember. You know,
Do it.
It's everybody's.
Do it.
No, it's terrible.
Let me hear.
All right. You know, I mean, that's all I could do.
That's good.
I had some bit, and then
all right.
and then I didn't get it. And that
Was Lauren sitting there?
Lauren was sitting there.
Was it quiet? Like not a laugh?
I made the biggest mistake.
What
I
is
went
that?
out and I had I used to do this Jim Morrison character, and I needed a song, and I said, "Oh, can I have a boombox like that?" And then no one did anything, and I just sat there. So it started the audition off really bad.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I needed to play a song
Right.
with the character.
Right.
To play like Doors music behind this Jim Morrison lounge singer.
Right.
And then it just like everyone just sat there.
Right.
It must have been like 45 seconds. And then eventually they brought me a boombox. But it was weird. But they're testing you, you know. They want to test you to see how you'll do.
If you could feel like empty airspace.
Yeah.
And if you're uncomfortable, you're going to be doing live television.
Yeah.
I think there's no better. I think people still go, it's a tough audition, but so is live TV. And how are you going to act on live TV if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
You know, if there's a technical thing, you know, I heard that, Eddie Murphy, who got signed to do, Saturday Night Live in its heyday, he was it became the heyday again. The second heyday,
Yes.
the second coming. But I heard that there was a sketch got thrown out or somebody couldn't do anything, and they asked him to fill and do some stand-up or one of his characters. And in that moment, they realized they had a star and allowed him to expand upon that and create all the characters that he created and do all those characters. So they do. You're right. It is a test.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there and you're the receptionist, and you were the jokes would come in to Norm Macdonald. And,
Yeah.
and did you add any to it?
I got 2 jokes on. in
You
my
did?
time there. One was about, the only one I remember was about Rosa Moda winning the Boston Marathon and having.
But everybody did the Rosa Moda jokes. I mean, they're still going. If I hear another fucking Rosa Moda joke.
It's a comedy staple, Rosa Moda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one was?
I don't remember what the other one was, but
You remember Rosa Moda.
I remember Rosa Moda.
How can
'cause
you
she-
not forget? How can you
She
forget?
had hairy armpits. That was the joke. I don't remember the
Did
exact
she?
joke. Yeah, that was something. She won the marathon and she went like that. And she,
You could see the hair.
in Europe they don't shave. And,
No, I know.
yeah.
I know. Would that turn you off in a woman?
No,
No.
not at all.
Does it turn you on?
Yeah.
Wasn't it David who was here when we were asking about the period blood on the face too?
Yeah.
I should ask you.
Ask me.
Would that turn you on or turn you off if a girl put her period blood on her face?
Well, you give it some context.
There's no.
I mean,
context.
any blood on somebody's face, is a bit of a turnoff.
Right.
Yeah.
The point was that my daughter brought in.
No context needed.
Really?
Yeah, no context needed.
Do you care if a girl puts her period blood on her
I
face?
love it.
There was a reason.
No.
Just take my word for it. There's a reason.
What's the reason? I opened
I
up
wrote
about Trish. Come on.
I wrote a song. Now that we had, we sometimes on the podcast, probably not one of the 15 that you've watched of ours, she would bring in like weird articles from the internet, and there was a girl espousing the positivity of the minerals in your own secretions
Okay.
at the end of the month, and she thinks that is the best skin product a woman could possibly have.
So she collects her blood and then she'll put it on her face and let it sit there kind of like a mask.
And how's her skin look?
It looks really good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Bloody great. Hey guys, come over. I'm putting period blood on my. Hey guys. I just love that. I can't get that out of me. Hey guys.
Well, isn't that how sports guys sound?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a voice, like we all have the voice of the doofus, you know.
Doofus.
But the voice, mine is much more like Kermit. Hey, why don't you know? Yours is, hey guys, But we all do that, we all have our, as Mike Judge had his, which was Beavis and Butthead. But it is kind of the
So much of sports too is watching really masculine guys. So I think I gave him a very voice because
that's masculine, or it's the opposite. of
no,
masculine?
it's like the guys we're watching. I think is less masculine, and that's what my problem is with sports. It's like you're like rooting for like another guy,
Well,
and like
sports
wearing
fans-
his jersey and.
Well, you bet acid really turned you around on the whole thing, didn't it? It turned you like.
odd.
Is it odd?
And also just to get mad at the players seems so dumb too.
What I find fascinating.
Suck.
Well, I go to coffee every morning and I'm at a Starbucks, and there is a table of guys who have that that
Yeah.
Monday morning kind of.
Yeah.
And they're all so, he fucked up. He should have just come around.
Yeah.
Why is he fucking passing to him when he could do? And I'm thinking these are like idiots in the valley here who have the answer to winning every fucking game. And I don't know why the coaches aren't speaking to the guys at the Starbucks
Right,
table
right.
who have the answer
Yeah, exactly.
to how they could go and win the Super Bowl.
It's insane.
It is.
It's like
The box just turned off. Are you turning off the box? That just
Everything.
went off.
The box went off. Our
Shows
screen
that
went
bad?
off.
I don't know. The box went off.
podcast is that
Apparently
bad,
something's
huh?
going to show up. Oh,
Oh,
here.
it's
oh,
not.
is somebody
Ready.
gonna pop in the proto?
They're ready to play. That's a hologram.
Oh, I know all about it. I've seen this for years, and I'm so glad he hooked up with you.
Yeah, he's been around for years.
What?
His is my
Nuzzy.
son. Nuzzy. Yeah.
No, Nuzzy's not your son.
No, that's my
Oh,
son.
that's Alex.
What,
Hi,
Alex?
Alex.
Hi, Alex.
You came in here.
Alex came in. My
came
son
in.
just walked in to look at us and say, "I don't know what's happening." To not come in would give us the same amount of information. Thank you. Next time you don't know something, make sure you update us.
Is it fun doing a podcast with your dad?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love it.
No.
I
It's
thought
not talking to.
I thought he was talking to Alex.
Well, Alex has the hard job. If Alex has no information, he has to share that with all of us. So I don't know if he's having fun doing it. He goes, "Well, why am I here?" And I go, "Well, he's coming back."
That was a real Benji Howard Stern moment right there.
Was it?
Yeah. It was great.
No, my son built this whole thing. Here he is. What? Okay, continue. Just continue like he's not here. Oh, he's in here. It's my son, Alex.
Is David Dobrik gonna pop up in the proto or something?
No.
No.
Oh,
Oh, I hope that's not David. I hope that's not. Thank you.
I like doing the podcast.
Thank you.
It's
He's
like,
actually my son, as you know. You know him.
Yeah, he's a vlogger.
He's more than a
was.
vlogger. He
And
was
he also
a vlogger.
marries people.
he did it for like 6 years. He's done vlogging.
He marries people, and not to get that right, he's an ordained minister.
Yeah.
He married her. He married his
I
own
remember.
sister.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound like we're in Mississippi now?
Did he do jokes up there? Or did he take it seriously?
You know what? No. You know what the fun thing about him is? If you get him to marry you or whatever, do whatever he does at your wedding.
Officiate.
Yeah, officiate. Then he comes with a plan. Like with me, he dressed up as a penguin, which I had no idea. A full penguin
Not
suit.
funny. It's not funny. It's
No,
serious.
it's serious. Full penguin suit. And then he told a story about how penguins mate for life.
Yeah.
And a male penguin will kick a rock to the female penguin. And if she accepts it, that means they're mates for life.
Uh-huh.
And so he brought a rock and he had my husband kick the rock over to me and then I had to accept it. So it was actually really cute. And then at my sister's wedding, he brought a sloth out, a real sloth.
Live sloth.
A live sloth.
Oh.
Because
And-
she's very traditional.
And the reason was
I don't get it.
Oh, a sloth is kind of indicative of not rushing things.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now you get
be
it.
in the moment.
Be
His
in the
whole
moment.
message was don't look forward to the future, don't dwell on the past, just be in the moment and enjoy
wow.
each other.
And
now.
take your time in that moment
Oh, so
and
he's
just
like
dwell.
really good at it.
yeah,
Oh, he's
he is
great
good.
at it.
So,
So
if
this works
anyone-
out with this new girl that you
Yeah.
want to talk about, the writer,
Yeah.
I think Alex should do it. He's also brilliant. He built this whole studio.
Yeah, it's really nice.
No, but all the technicalities and things like that, and he helps other people supply content for other influencers. And
You don't have to sell me on Alex. I know.
No, you already have a significant other. I'm just very proud of my son. I can't be proud of my son.
I'll let you know if it doesn't work out.
My son.
Your mom's available now, though, right?
Yep, my mom's available for YouTube videos.
I want to say my
No,
son,
Mary.
not like your son, but your son got an A with his Holocaust song. My son did something similar, not the Holocaust, but he had a science project. And in the science project, the people were, the class was told to mark down everything that they ate for an entire week and categorize it like a protein or carb and this many grams and milligrams, and then talk about how this affected their system, giving them energy or it added fat or it bloated or what it did to their system, how food affects your health and your growth. And then it was an oral presentation at the end of the week, and the first person goes up and says, on Monday I had like 250 milligrams of carbs. I had 16% of what on a 2,000 calorie diet, 16% was protein. This was that. I got tired at 4 o'clock. I didn't have the energy, and they go through this whole thing. Yeah. And then it's Alex's turn to go up. And we didn't know this project existed. We never knew what project existed with Alex. We didn't see him doing anything, but he went up and said, I didn't really eat this week and I'm really tired. So I took zero nutrition and I have no energy. And I calculated that zero intake gives you, I've actually lost weight and I have no energy. And he got an A.
No way.
He did.
And he didn't eat for the week, or he just lied?
I think he lied.
Okay. He didn't do his project.
But he was able to do that. I mean, it's not a Holocaust camp song, but it is in
it's
that
his own
same
Holocaust camp song.
Yes.
In his own way.
In his own way. He tried. Let's just take a moment.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just happy to be here with you.
And
This is
people,
wild.
you don't. Why is it wild?
Yeah, you're just somebody I grew up watching.
You're almost 50.
Yeah,
you
I know.
You grew up watching me. Oh, you're right. I'm 17 years older than you.
I mean,
Makes me feel old.
I'm like old school though. It's like I really saw you when there was I saw you on Leno and Carson and all that shit. I'm like a young guy,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I did. I was on Carson a lot.
I watched your Carson.
Which one?
I watched this most insane bit of you.
Which one?
Oh my God. It was so insane. It was like Johnny Carson, and you come out to do talk show, and you bring out like a rhinoceros.
No, a saber-toothed tiger.
I mean, a saber-toothed tiger.
That was my last appearance.
Well,
He got mad at me.
No way.
Yeah.
You got to tell me, because I'm watching this and I'm like, this is insane, because there's 30 million people watching
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah.
and you were good. You were funny.
Oh, yeah.
And that bit was just like, that bit was funny too, but it was so out there. And I was like, wow, I wonder how that came up. Did they know you were bringing the saber-toothed tiger out?
No.
You just did it.
I just did it.
That's awesome.
With a carrot tied to the top of it.
And where did you come up with that?
I didn't. I got asked to do. You should ask me on my podcast.
Okay.
On your podcast,
Yeah.
because today is not about me.
We're doing it here, so it is your podcast.
I know, but don't you think this would be better material for your podcast than?
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
I'll do it again on mine. But
No, we'll bring it up.
I was doing the Tonight Show a lot, and then one day, that's actually synonymous with. Do you know who Sammy Davis Jr. was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got diagnosed with cancer. He was supposed to be the lead guest that day, and he canceled. And at 2:00 in the afternoon, Jim McCauley called me and said, "You got to do us a big favor. You got to show up." And I go, "I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing." And he goes, "Please, you'll get me out of trouble. You're always funny." I go, "Well, I can't even go over a set because they like to go over.
Yeah.
Unlike we're doing today, you could tell that my daughter and I have done absolutely no research beyond your name and all the times
I
we've
could
met
tell.
you.
Yeah.
You could tell. And that's the beauty of us. In the comments.
I'm just happy for the promo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And go listen to, what is the name of yours?
All good things.
All Good Things.
Yeah.
I love that you tied up All Good Things because there's some people that just go, I just want to look for some good things. Hey guys, all the good things are over here. Come on over. But he called me and he said, and I was doing a movie. He said, you gotta come. Can you be here by 4:00? And I go, I'll be there, but you just gotta go with whatever I go with.
Yeah.
And then I went into the prop room of the studio that I was at.
Yeah.
It was at MGM.
Yeah.
And they had this giant saber-toothed tiger. And I said, just a statue of one. And it was light. It was made by, not light. It was like, I don't know what it was made of. I said, what would it cost to put that on a dolly
Yeah.
and send it over to Burbank? And they said like $500. I go, okay, do it. And then I see a giant carrot and I go, put the carrot on top of it and tie it to it. And he goes, why? I go, I don't know. And then I called the Tonight Show and I said, you're going to get a shipment. Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm doing with it. And then Carson goes, ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel. And I come out and I have, if you remember it, I come out and I pull it.
Yeah.
The audience is applauding.
Yeah.
They're happy to see me. And then I get to the
You
riser.
completely block Ed McMahon.
Right.
Right.
I got to
Which
the
was
riser.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're directing.
Yeah.
So I got to the riser and I asked Ed McMahon to help me get the pause up on the, and after 35 seconds, there's no more applause. It's just silent. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he's sweating and we put the pause up on the riser, and then I go around the other side and I'm trying to push the back end up, and I asked Doc Severinsen to push that end up, and it's like a minute of horror, just silence, and every Doc is sweating, and then I push it up and I can hear the people on the floor wearing headsets, the camera people, and you could hear the director going, camera 2, up. They never move the cameras, right? Now they have to shoot over the saber-toothed tiger to see Ed or to see Johnny. And then I finally sit down after what seems like an eternity, and Johnny is he's sitting there. He doesn't look really happy. He's just tapping his pencil, and he goes, okay. I go, okay, great to be here. And he goes, okay. And I go, what? He goes, what is this?
What is this?
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And I go,
Howie, you want to tell me what the, Yeah, go ahead.
do it.
I just did it. Go ahead. Do your story.
And I said, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Which is funny to a few people who like obscure, awkward, horrible moments, and me. But he didn't find that funny. He goes, no, really, what is it? I said, really, I'll talk about anything. I just do not want to talk about this. And like everybody's blocked. It's a horrible picture on the screen. We could put up, Jeremy, you'll put up a picture of the saber-toothed tiger on the screen.
And he never talked to you again after that?
I did. He asked me 2 or 3 other questions with the jokes you heard.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do 2 segments, but he at the end of one segment, which was just maybe 6 minutes, 5 minutes, he goes, and next, I can't remember who it was, but Connie Stevens is coming up. And like I was supposed to do another segment. He didn't talk. We went to commercial. The people came out, they moved my saber-toothed tiger and my carrot away, and then the next guest came out, and I just sat there, and never to do it again. I had done it 22 times. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's horrible. horrible time in my
It's
career.
funny, like you knew not to go, but you went anyway, and you went and you swing really big.
I did that a lot in my career and got
Did
thrown
you?
off. Yeah. I feel like I'm on your podcast now.
Okay.
But do you do that? Have you had like big failures publicly?
Yeah, I did that Anne Frank bit a couple minutes ago. And it's fine.
You're right.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with Jeff
Yeah.
or friendly?
Yeah. I saw him at a wedding a couple weeks ago and we chatted and
How do you feel about that? What is your take on that?
oh gosh, it's gonna get me in trouble.
Not if you're being
Listen,
totally honest.
I listen. I love David. You know, like David's my friend. I'm close with David. I support David. You know, I'm support David through anything. At the same time, you know, I wish Jeff the best, and I hope that you know it all works out. But you know, David, I'm there for him.
I get it. You were there for them.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're two guys who were really good friends. And, and we've all
Jeff was incredible in the videos, and not
you were
not
good
even just
friends.
in the videos, but as a person. Jeff helped me lose like 20 pounds once. He would like come over to my house and work me out, and like especially when I had a breakup, you know, he came and he was like, "Jason, we're gonna fucking get you back into shape," and he's like that Staten Island kind of thing about him.
You were standing there when he hit the crane, right?
No, I went to I went into town to go to the bathroom. I missed it. I was not there for that. It's something that I think about a lot. It sucks. I wished I was there.
So
that
how did
day.
you find out? Like what happened? You come back from the bathroom?
I come out of a Walgreens and Susie Antonian calls me and says, "There's been an accident. Meet us at Utah Valley Hospital." And it was awful. It's just like it's very painful for everybody. You know,
I would imagine.
painful for Jeff, and it's painful for all of us too.
Is there
fucking
no
awful.
way out of it besides, I know there's a legal battle right now, so there's only so much. Is there no way? It just seems, and I'm just asking from the outside.
Yeah.
It just seems that Jeff's biggest problem was the fact that he wanted more interaction from David. Is David just too, was he too uncomfortable?
What is Jeff's biggest problem?
Isn't it the fact that he didn't visit him enough in the hospital? He
Well,
didn't even
and
ask
then
him how he
David-
was doing?
I watched both podcasts. I did a little research.
Okay.
And then David explained that it was hard for him and he didn't know how to act in that situation, right? Like wasn't Jeff saying that his biggest problem is that he didn't feel like there was enough remorse coming from David, and David felt like he didn't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, I think that Jeff probably wanted that more from David, and then I
Yeah.
also think that maybe David did reach out, but didn't know to reach out because Jeff's like such a tough guy, and I really don't know. I mean,
I
this
get
is like,
kind of both sides in the sense that
it's literally horrible. They did this to me on BFFs. They did the same thing, and it's like I understand like you want to know about it, and I don't know the inner workings. I don't know if David called him or like Jeff. I heard something that
So I don't
they
want
didn't pay the medical bills, but I think what really happened was they didn't know about the medical bills. There's so much like back and forth about it, and
But isn't the major thing just between them both?
yeah,
Communication. Like I feel like we being just a general public, and maybe you also have tidbits from both sides, but both sides aren't together. Like everything that I hear them saying,
Right.
why aren't they saying it to each other
I think they're trying,
from both
right?
sides?
you know, I don't know. They just can't get on the same page, or I really don't know. I don't know what exactly are you talking about? Like you're wondering about the lawsuit? Like
No,
why?
well, I know now it's a
lawsuit's
lawsuit. I'm not
different
asking
thing.
you about a lawsuit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking you about, listen, two friends are working together.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was doing, whether it's irresponsible or responsible isn't even the issue.
Mm-hmm.
They're both working together. They're doing something. An accident happens. It's called an accident because it's an accident.
It's an accident.
And now
100%.
because of this accident, they are no longer friends.
Right.
Beyond let's not talk about the lawsuit. They're no longer friends. So how do you patch that up? I saw you do the podcast where he tried to reach out to Jeff as far as his view, and then you hear Jeff talk about it.
Yeah.
But you don't hear them or even see them at this point.
No, I don't think it's repairable. I mean,
Really?
I don't know if it. I don't. You'd have to ask them.
I
mean,
wasn't asking about you about them or their takes or anything. I was
Yeah.
asking about you, like
Yeah.
your relationship now, because I know you
Is
are
it
closer
uncomfortable?
with David,
Yep.
and that's your guy.
Closer
I'm
with
asking
David, yeah.
about your relationship now with Jeff. If you have one, how that's been for you, if it's hard, because I know that you were very close at one point to everyone that you worked with.
It's super hard. I mean, I see Jeff. I saw him at a wedding. We
Mm-hmm.
talked, and then I saw him at Runyon the other day because Todd and I do Runyon in the morning, and Jeff does Runyon a lot. I saw him there. He's super nice. He's super upbeat. He looks great. He's moving on with his life.
Right.
And he's super kind to me, and he's super kind.
Is
to
it uncomfortable for you?
No, not uncomfortable at all. I mean, these are grown men, and they have that issue, and they have to figure it out. It's not uncomfortable for me if I see Jeff, or if I see David, or if I see Trisha.
So there's not a sense of divide
it's-
in the friend group.
It's interesting to hear because from our point of view
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah,
that Trisha thing was explosive.
Yeah, yeah,
and even beyond you, the issues that she's had beyond you, after you, have always been incredibly explosive. So
Yeah.
it's just
I try to have empathy for everybody. I think it's really important. Especially because they're younger. Jeff is a lot younger than me. David's a lot younger than me, and I just having more years than them, I understand that why people do things, where they come from. I understand Jeff's side. I understand David's side, and I also just try to approach everybody with empathy. Trisha had a horrible, horrible upbringing. I mean, awful. And I don't want to go into it, but so when she was coming after me, or I try to look at it like, oh, there's a reason for that, Or if you look at anybody, when people go after like Shia LaBeouf, for example,
Right.
Oh, he's crazy. Shia LaBeouf's crazy. Like, well, no, he was a kid actor. He had a tough dad, and so yeah, it's probably going to make you a little nuts. So that's how I try to look at it.
that's understanding it.
Yeah.
But then you don't feel like any proactivity as far as maybe trying to quell it or getting people back together.
I have tried.
You seem like the peacemaker.
I am the peacemaker. I have tried to put them together in a room, and David tried. We invited Jeff on the podcast that we did, which honestly we didn't feel good about after we did it. That was a mistake, I thought. Even though we said our side of it, or David said his side
right.
of it.
Because
But it's because when
ultimately, you don't want to do it publicly.
Even
Right.
this, what we're doing right now, and I understand you want to know, and it's great content. But even doing this right now is like, fuck. It's like, is this going to make David feel like shit? Is this going to make Jeff feel like shit? And it's
Well, I hope it doesn't. I'm saying that right away. I have no.
and I'm concerned. I'm alwaways concerned for their well-being.
Well, that's my
especially
point.
as the oldest guy in the group.
My
That's
point
my
was
job.
not them. Like, I know that they can speak for themselves.
My entire body is cramping up talking about
Sorry,
this.
we
No,
can
I'm
move
kidding.
on.
No,
I just wanted
stay
to
on
know
it. Stay
about
on it.
you and your feelings about it and how it
Yeah.
affected you and your life personally.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, we all love Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff was like the best.
But it's even. Listen, you're doing a podcast. You want to promote your podcast. You
Yeah.
want to promote your whole career. The thing is that you also live publicly, like I do.
Yeah.
So these things kind of, if you're throwing them into the universe, they're just there, and they're always
Yep.
going to be tickled and scratched
Yeah,
and
you're
thrown.
right.
They're always going to be there. So that's like you made a concerted effort at the beginning of this. I was asking you about your dating because I'm just interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
To not tell me who she is
That's
or what
right.
she is, and
I've learned.
right. But once you throw it out there, there's no stopping it. There's no getting it back.
You're right.
And if something happens publicly between your good friends or your significant other, whether it's Trish, there's no bringing that back.
Yeah.
But, as somebody who's not involved in any of those, I also, and I say this not, if I could be of any help, it was
Yeah.
probably a stupid thing to say, but maybe this conversation or people listening to this conversation, David or Jeff, listening to how people just another view of how people are looking at. Maybe it does make them think about it again, and maybe it does make somebody pick up a phone.
You did this last time. It doesn't. You cannot always be a help dad. You wanted to get Ethan and Trish together too.
I know, it was stupid, and I got killed online.
I saw
I
that.
got killed online.
Why did you get killed online?
Because people are saying you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're not involved in this, and you're scratching a wound. And I'll probably get a lot of heat from this conversation with you.
No, you won't, because
You don't know that.
I don't think you will, because everybody can see how you're approaching it. You're approaching it as like
I would think so.
as a neutral party, and as somebody's trying to fix it, and as a Jew, and that's how we do it.
Right.
You know,
but
you remind me of my uncle. You know,
there is this business of public life is a magnet for negativity more than positivity. Yeah, all good things. You know, we get opportunities.
Great podcast.
And we get opportunities, but most of what you're going to draw is people. It's like Yelp, you know, very few good Yelp reviews. They're usually the owner and the owner's friends. But if you could say something bad, and if somebody can criticize, then that's what you're going to get, you know. And those are louder and stronger and more numerous than.
And this is why I want to go work at the Starbucks. You know, it's you know.
Does that affect you?
Sucks.
The negativity that do you read comments and everything like that? No, you
I don't
don't.
read anything.
But isn't it great to just the fact that you want to give this all up one day?
Mm-hmm.
And when I say this all, the fact is that you can go around and meet interesting people and talk to people, or hang with a friend like David and go to Europe and do fun events, watch people give away things like cars and things like that.
Yeah, it is fun.
Why would working at Starbucks be in any way even comparable to that?
I mean, I think there's something to like a simple life, you know, just like a peaceful life of just not having to worry about what you're putting out there. Like, I got to post this, I got to do this. I think it'd be nice. You know, I think
living, there's always a responsibility in living. There's always something you got to do. There's always something.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, we're parents.
Right. And that's a big reason why I don't stop. Is because
I had to get up
support my
early.
kids.
Well, that's what I got up early this morning to get all the tangles out of Jackie's hair.
How'd it go? Oh, you did a good job.
Well, when it comes to hair, I'm nuts. I am nuts.
He actually, fun fact, is the one that would brush my hair and get all the tangles out of my hair every single night.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Because my mom would just like yank a comb through it, and he would sit there and
I'm
pick
gentle with hair
apart
because I know what it's like to pull hair out. I really do.
Yeah.
Like nobody's business. I love you, Jace.
Yeah, I love you too, Howie.
Yeah,
This is nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And so we're going to plug just a podcast,
Yeah,
or is there
just the
anything else?
podcast, yeah.
All good things.
Yeah.
All good things wherever podcasts are available.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be on.
Yep, we're doing
Who
that
are some other? You want to talk about some of the upcoming guests?
We're doing Julie Bowen. We're doing TJ Miller. We're doing Chad and JT. Lindsay Palis. We're doing Pete Holmes. You know Pete Holmes?
I do. He's a funny comic. Really
great
funny
podcast.
comic.
Yeah. So we're doing those 5 and you.
Wow.
So yeah, we got big
big numbers.
guests
I'll be
coming.
listening. I'll be on.
Yeah. And then also I have a website. It's called thenashnation.com. And you can get the podcast early and like exclusive content there.
You're looking for a co-host. Who would be your ideal co-host?
Are you
David
looking-
Dobrik.
Are you?
David?
Yeah.
He doesn't want
Would
to do
he
it.
do
He
it?
doesn't want to do it. I said it to him the other day. I was like, hey man, I'm looking for a co-host. And he was like, oh, maybe I'll come by, but I don't know. You know, we got to see.
But
Were
that'd
you-
be great. Me? Yeah, I'll do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be fun. I
She
think you're
could-
busy here.
She can co-host too.
Okay.
I can do it. I could do it all.
Would you do another one?
I don't know. Maybe I had to think about it.
You just put
I
yourself
know.
out there.
I'll think. Maybe I'll stop by. I'll do the David thing. I'll
Okay.
stop by.
All right. I'll have
Yeah.
you on.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
You can sit in today if you want. We can just switch seats right now.
Just sit over there and watch. I'll sit over there and watch.
Okay, I'd love you to.
All right. We're gonna again. You open the show at your leisure, and you tell me when you want to close it.
Oh, you broke the picture of Simon.
Did he?
No.
Did you? It's okay.
It's okay. It's not broken.
Let me
it's just
see.
like
What
a
did you
little.
write here?
What'd you do?
What's your tattoo?
This, we played a
Hangman?
YouTube video where we didn't know what the person was going to write. So we had to play Hangman. So the joke is comedian with quotes. So I didn't know I was getting that. Yeah.
Okay.
You happy? Happy with it?
No, I hate it.
Is that your only tattoo?
No, I have penis here.
Why?
Is that
Do
another
you have
video?
a penis in your mouth?
Yeah.
Why?
Joke. Is it still there?
Yeah.
The
Is that
penis is
another?
still in your
Oh,
mouth.
right.
No, it hasn't faded.
Is that another video?
Another video. And then over here I have my friend Todd's book. And then I have David's pizza place on my back.
Which one's your least favorite?
Probably the penis in the mouth.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to you whenever you want to end this thing.
Okay, let's go. Call it.
That was good. Thank you. Now you go get your notes. I'm here for you.
Okay.